We are live, TARTLE.co, share data, earn money, change your world. Speaking of changing your world there, Mr. Alexander McCaig,
Yes.
I want to get into economic equalization as one of our big sevens.
Whoa.
But I want to throw out something that you wrote on the Big Seven page, and it's TARTLE.co/Big Seven.
I wrote this.
I encourage you to go to that and look at our Big Seven. I want to get into this statement. You said economic equalization is a cause that stands for the right to opportunity.
Yeah. So regardless of where you are born in this world, okay, the ability to actually make a choice that can afford you opportunity to financially grow so that you can make better choices within your life, I think is a fundamental human right. That economic equalization happens through global opportunity. So when we were building TARTLE and we think about the Big Seven and why it's such a focus is that nobody should be barred from the opportunity to participate to financially elevate themselves from the current condition that they're in. So it's a massive, massive focus that this is really in play to have that economic equalization through the opportunity to access, opportunity to share, opportunity to earn. Not that we're forcing them to do it, not that we tell them to do it, but we created a tool, a marketplace, an ecosystem that affords them the opportunity to participate only if they choose to do it. But they shouldn't be barred from access to it because of technological reasons, social or political reasons, of the sort.
So, and this is exactly what you said. You said economic equalization is a cause that stands for the right to opportunity, a right to participation. And I've been thinking about this participation, doing the work.
Yeah.
Having the responsibility on the seller end to do the work, to accomplish something, to better yourself, your family, economic equalization. The work is what causes the catalyst. And so I feel this is really, really important because this is the underlying, this is why TARTLE's system has been built, to give an opportunity for people to be able to work.
But we're not going to do it for you.
Exactly. Yes, that's where I'm going.
It's a choice you as a human being have to make. It's there. Shovel's yours for the taking.
Mm-hmm.
What you choose to build with it or dig with it is, that's on you. And the effort and time you put into it is what will accrue to your benefit in the future through that work. But that's for you to do. You have the right and the opportunity to participate. Do it. But we are not going to force it. We will not do the work for you. It is fundamentally important that that catalyst of work is something you take responsibility for. It is your life and it is your data. It's not for a government to take responsibility for it. It's not for a corporation to do so. This is your thing which you have created that you should be responsible for managing, not somebody else. Because the second you pass off that responsibility and someone doesn't like what they have, what they have done with it, what are you going to do? You're going to complain about it. You can't be doing that. Well, why did you give that to them to manage in the first place when it was your responsibility? Now this is the opportunity, your right of access, right? To actually come in and use this system to take responsibility for your work and create something beautiful out of it, something that can truly help you and your family.
I think the help word is really important. In the next sentence you have, and growth through the interaction of one's own work. And I want to stop right there before we get into a bit. Growth.
Yeah.
Through one's own work. What does that look like for a human globally when they're beginning to grow through work?
There's many things to learn when you're tactily doing some work, right? With farming. Oh, I shouldn't have planted those crops too close together, or I was, building a house for someone and I didn't really put that beam on straight and it could fall down on the ceiling, right? There's learning and growth that happens through this work. There's learning through the mistakes. There's learning through this process. There's a greater expansion of the understanding of this person's respective point in the world and society itself.
Right.
But work will show them that because work forces that interaction with many other people that are also making choices through their work. And so there's this wonderfully delicate dance that occurs between people taking the opportunity and the choice to go work, to help themselves or help others, and realize that much learning and growth can happen during those moments. And work affords you to do that because work is the catalyst to say that if you put time in, you get something in return. And it's not just money. There's lessons that are also learned. There's perspective, there's knowledge that can be gained, there's wisdom that can be garnered from these things beyond just the capital efficiency of it.
Yeah, when I put in work to read a book,
Yeah.
it takes me 8 hours to read that book. What took me 8 hours in the learning process took somebody 10,000 hours to write it.
To write it. So what they did in the writing refined the thoughts they had, and in shorter order allowed you to challenge the perspective you had on yourself.
And this was the analogy I was thinking of when I wanted to bring this up to you is the author of the book, Tartle's been created.
Yeah.
10,000 hours have been put in for you.
We put the time in.
We've purposely said we're not going to focus on developed countries. We're not going to focus just on undeveloped or developed. We're going to focus on the whole globe.
Correct.
230 countries. We're going to focus on every single human, whether you're in the Antarctic or whether you're in the Sahara Desert. It does not matter.
Nope.
We're focused on you. And that is economic equalization. And this is what you said. And growth through the interaction of one's own work in the world's economic systems.
Precisely correct.
How does TARTLE help an individual through the world's economic systems?
Glad you asked. People that participate in the world economic system are these larger enterprises, which are large resource holders, but they need the data. They need data from people like you and me, people from all over the world that they fundamentally don't understand. So what happens is when the incentive is shared, financial incentive through the work that a data seller has done to share that data back with the enterprise, they now have something financial which they can participate in buying other products or services. They can participate in the growth and evolution of economies and microeconomies in their respective areas. When at first they had no opportunity to do so, there was no method or stream or progression of financial incentive or gain because there was no access or opportunity available.
Right. I get that part. Yes.
Is this making sense?
Yeah. And I think this goes, I want to flip the switch now onto the buyer side, a toggle switch. So we're going to toggle over to buyer.
Sure.
Economic equalization for a buyer, and the importance of using TARTLE as a buyer for this. I know where you're going.
Simple example.
I'm reading your mind.
I'm Walmart. Okay. I need to better understand my customers, but I also want to understand them better so they spend more money because we're a business. So wouldn't it be great if I bought some data from them that put money in their pocket, which they could then come back and spend in our store to drive our revenue gains?
Right.
What an interesting full circle approach, right? But now they're a part of it. Now they want to come to Walmart. Now I trust you. You made me a part of the conversation. Now I want to spend my money.
Yes.
Spend a little, gain a lot. That's how that works.
Well, I'm thinking of this big EV push right now. And then, the problems is the minerals. This seems to be the big push, the minerals, getting the minerals. And then I don't want to get into a climate stability question. What I'm saying is the farmers in these rural areas that are taking these minerals, wouldn't you want to have a conversation with them?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it help you tremendously, Tesla or whoever you are, in your supply chain to have conversations with what you would consider the LCD, the lowest common denominator?
Mm-hmm.
But you're going to get so much insight. You can send somebody like Starbucks does that. They send somebody to go to the coffee farm.
Yeah.
And then they on the ground, walking around, having these conversations. Are those conversations going to be truthful? Because I have somebody with the clipboard and a white shirt staring at me.
Yeah, I don't feel good
with
about
white
this.
skin.
I don't say anything else. I'm not.
I don't want to lose. This is my number one client. I don't want to lose anything.
Mm-hmm.
If I know one that the information that I'm going to give, they're not going to be able to pin it back to me. Am I going to get an honest answer?
Right.
Do you see what I'm saying? And why would I not want to go to that lithium mine shovel guy?
Yeah.
And have a conversation with him. And I'm talking about economic equalization in the sense, maybe that's the best and highest paid job in that area, and he loves it, and he's getting paid well, and he's happy.
Yeah.
Would I want to know that?
I would.
Nike's done that with their factories. People give a lot of, pushback with them, but you can't come in an area that's super depressed and give USA wages.
Can't do it.
You can throw the whole...
You'll throw the whole place out of whack.
Yeah, you can do more damage than good. So, you have to pay a good wage in that area.
It allows the enterprise to understand
Yes.
how people define the value for themselves. Rather than us coming in a top-down approach to tell people what's best for them, they'll tell you what is best for them.
This is Henry Ford when he went and made that little German.
Where was it? Like in Argentina or something?
Yeah, down in the jungles, the rubber plants, and then he made them like act like they were Europeans.
That's not best for them.
And that wasn't best for them. And he had them, he built houses for them that looked like, a suburb and all this stuff, and it failed.
Be an enterprise. Go to TARTLE and commission an army of data champions to share this data with you. And you're going to be truly shocked at how fundamentally beneficial this data sharing mechanism will work to your business services and everything you choose to do, all of your operations.
It helps humanity.
Yeah.
As a seller and as a buyer. If you don't believe it, go to our Big 7, and we've clearly outlined, and we have podcast after podcast on this. We've clearly outlined how TARTLE helps humanity.
And look at the damn reviews.
Yes.
Look at how
our
people
Google reviews,
are being helped.
Yes.
I didn't pay them to fill out a review. They do this in droves.
People are always worried about the administrative costs for and how inefficient not-for-profits are.
Yeah.
You want to do philanthropy work? Just buy data packets.
Just go buy data from TARTLE.
It goes straight to the cell. It goes 100%. If I say I'm going to give $1,
they get $1
to help somebody in Argentina.
Sure.
They get $1.
They don't get a penny of the dollar, and the rest goes to admin costs. They get $1.
Yeah. I mean, this is the simplest thing ever. If somebody wants to, sign up, of course, it's tartle.co. That's easy.
Yeah.
If an enterprise, a client wants to have a conversation about, buying data, what's the easiest way for them to do that?
You're right on the buyer page. Right, you'll see the tab and it'll say schedule a conversation. It's a little green thing right next to the sign up button. Just click on that. It comes directly to us. We'd love to have a conversation with you.
Yeah, we could set up real quick Google Meet.
We're super easy to engage with.
Yeah, and we can explain it all. If you have questions, I know a ton of people have questions. That's what
all we do is answer questions.
Yeah, exactly. I had a buyer the other day. They had, luckily they sent it to me ahead of time.
Yeah,
they had like 14 questions.
Excellent.
I was like, awesome,
great,
you're engaged. This is great. I love it when.
One of my favorite interactions I've seen yet with a buyer is an enterprise brought on a new person into a conversation that happened. There were already multiple conversations that happened, previously ahead of time. And the person made a comment because they were going through and they were logging into the system to go use it. And the person in the enterprise said, "Oh no, you're on the wrong screen."
That's awesome.
Without even looking at the person's screen. And I'm like, this is where the magic happens.
Yes.
This is when people really get it and they see the simplicity of what is occurring, so much to the fact, so simple that a system they didn't create, and without even looking at somebody else's screen, they could tell them that they're doing the wrong thing. That right there is something special. And that's how I want every enterprise to interact.
100%. Tartle.co.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Love it. Awesome.